Welcome everyone, a great song by the Scorps. I can't believe this is a band I've ignored, and shame on me, it's been way too long. We used to play the zoo, and I'll probably cover that in a future lesson, relearn it. But yeah, a good friend of mine, Dave, sent me a concert of theirs I watched on YouTube, and this was a song they did, and it jerked my memory, and of course, here we are. So as always, I've written it out. My notes are right below. I think they'll really help you play this. Very approachable, just some really well done things. Researching it, some of the live videos, they are tuned down a half step. This recording, which I'm covering the recording because there's an intro that they don't do live, and that's about it. But we're going to be in standard tuning, which again will match the recorded version. So for the intro to this song, we're going to do this little arpeggiated figure twice. And what he's doing is basically going through an A suspended, be covering the 4th fret, 4th string, barring on the 2nd fret, which will catch the G string, and then your middle finger will be on the 3rd fret. All right, so we're going to go 4, 2, 3 as far as the notes. And then we grab the 5th fret of the 2nd string and come back to 3. So we have this. And then he does a couple 2-note chords, so we'll be staying on that 3rd fret of the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and we'll go to the 4th fret of the 2nd string and then up to 5. So 2 hits with the 2, and then we move up for 1 hit and hold that. And that figure repeats. And then the song kicks in. One other thing I'll mention, I said standard tuning, and it is, but it's just pitched slightly low. It's not quite in pitch, and it's about 2/10. So it's not a whole lot, but just a little bit. So if something sounds off, you can adjust the song if you have a way of doing that through your player, or again, just tune just off of pitch, and you'll be right in tune with it. Okay, so the pattern, we've got this first repeating motif with the arpeggiated and chording, and then we switch to, I'll call this the main lick, because this is really consistent throughout the song for the verses. What I call, it's really kind of a post-chorus, because they put them in the chorus that leads back into, at the end of the chorus, that leads back into the verse. So anyhow, what you'll hear is Matthias, he'll just be chugging on a palm muted A, and occasionally jumping in with an A power chord, but he's mainly playing that 5th string A, chugging. All right, now we can associate that with what Rudolph is doing. He's playing some dyads, or 2 notes that represent a chord. So what we're going to do is hit the muted 5th string twice, then we move to the 5th fret of the 1st and 2nd string. That would be an A. All right, so we got this. Then we move to the 7th fret of the 3rd string, 8th fret of the 2nd string, representing a G in the form of a D. But we're only playing 2 notes here. And we hit that twice. All All right, so we have this. Then we do 2 more chugs on the A, and then we're going to reference a D on the 7th fret of the 4th and 3rd string twice. And then we come to an A power chord. Then, to end this, if you will, we're going to hit open A 5th string, hit the 3rd fret, pull it down slightly, and then an A power chord again. All right, then it starts all over. So, we have this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that would be a measure. As we've done it twice, it will go 2 more times for the second measure. Now, the end of the second measure, he doesn't do the ending. He just hits an A and holds it. So the 4th time through, we just go. All right, and then the verse starts. Now, the verse start, it will be 4 complete measures of this. All right, so okay, like I said, that's a measure. We'll do another measure of those, and don't be thrown off between measure 2 and 3. There's a little drum fill that kind of makes you think they're going to end the verse and go into a different part of the song, but they don't at this point. They just do 2 more measures of what we just did. Okay, so the last 2 measures, again, we'll go through it until the very last time, and this is before we go into the chorus. The only thing he does different is, instead of pulling that 3rd fret slightly down and hitting an A power chord, he's just going to hit the open 5th to the 3rd fret and then back to the open on the 5th string. Because then he goes into the chorus. All right, so let's do the very last measure of verse 1, and you'll see how that fits together. I'll go to the C, which is the first chord in the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so, again, it's really missing that whole powerful pull down. It's more of a walk into the C. Now we are to the chorus. The chorus is a nice C chord that's arpeggiated. The arpeggiation goes through basically twice, and then we go into the second half of the measure into the lick. Okay, so let's go through the chorus. What we're going to do is hit the C chord. Then we're going to pluck the 3rd fret of the 5th string to the 4th fret, which will be covered with our finger at the 3rd string, 5th fret, and then to the 5th fret of the 4th string. Then you want to use your pinky, stretch up, grab that 3rd string at 7, and then hit 5 with it off before you come back to the 4th string at 5. So we have this slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just end with another 3rd string, 5th fret. Then you'll hear a down, up, down, and the same picking pattern. We'll do that one more time, but we're just going to go open 3rd fret and then open again on the 5th string. Coming back around to our C, exact same What we've done here, then we go into the A lick, first time normal. Second time, we're going to go to a diminished chord. This brought me all kinds of respect to the Scorpions. I was so surprised at this. And you just don't hear diminished chords in rock songs. Page did it in a few, the Wonton song for sure. But what they do, all right, so we played that A lick one time. The second time after our second C in the chorus, we're going to stop after going to the G chord. Not stop, but stop the rest of it. We go to this. All right, so this is a B diminished chord. All right, if we played it fully, it would look like this. If you're not used to playing it that way, you can go to this way of playing it, all right? We don't have to hit that B root, all right? We're going to be on, it's like, think of it as a D form, moved towards the ceiling, a string, and then forward, all right? We're just not playing this B note, all right? So we're taking this D form on the 4th string, 3rd fret, the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and the 4th fret of the 3rd string. And again, a diminished chord, if you're not familiar with it in music theory, it's a chord that wants you to resolve it. It sounds off for a reason. And that reason is it wants you to resolve it to the next either measure or next chord, okay? When I thought of this, I thought they were playing like a Hendrix chord, you know, maybe in the D form, or nothing sounded right till I went to this B diminished. That is the 3rd measure of the chorus. I considered the end here would be like a tag or a reprise of the intro with the A lick 4 times, the very 4th time just holding the A. So, hell, we'll do it all. So after we hold that A, we begin verse 2. Verse 2 is our A lick for 4 measures, all right? Like I said, after the 2nd measure into the 3rd, you'll hear a drum roll, but don't be, it just continues the lick underneath, but it feels like it's going somewhere else. But again, we've got 2 more measures, with the last measure, just our simple open 3, leading us to the C and the chorus, all right? Okay, then we do the C again, and what we do after we hit the diminished, all right, we're going to go into a bridge part. Okay, so what I'm going to do is play the last measure of chorus 2 up to the B diminished, and then I will go into what I call bridge 1. Now, bridge 1 leads us right into solo 1's rhythm, all right? So you will hear after, I'll go into a little lick, and then that's where the solo starts. So we'll discuss that, but I want to give you a feel for how this will flow. All right, so we're going to do the 2 C's with arpeggiation into and up to the diminished. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I went into the solo rhythm, but you can see how this all flows. So the end of chorus 2, when we've done our B diminished in that D form, we're going to come up and do an A chord 4th root. All right, so we'll be on the 4th string at the 7th fret, 9th fret on the 3rd string, and 10th fret on the 2nd string. Then we move that to, just like this B diminished, we're going to go up a half step, that'd be C, and then a full step, that would be D. Here's our root note, right? So again, you just play that D form of it, it sounds fine. But what they do, A to the D diminished, and then they move to the B diminished and hit it 7 times. Before they do that again, 7 more times. The last time, they'll hit the B diminished 3 times before going into a lick. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that lick starts out with a slide in on the 4th string to the 3rd fret to open, and then we'll walk down from the 3rd, 2nd to open on the 5th string, then a power chord. A little chuck, and another power chord. Alright. Alright, those A's start the solo rhythm. Okay, so we got our bridge with the 2 diminished chords now. God bless them. It's just really cool. And then we are into the solo rhythm. All right, solo rhythm is basically Rudolph playing this solo rhythm and Matthias doing the solo work. I've written the solo out. It's at the end of the song. And we'll cover that at the end of the lesson. I like to stick with rhythm and then go to the solos. Consider the solo rhythm of 2 sets. 2 sets of A with an open 5 to 3rd fret pull down. Then another 2 A power chords with a little walk down. All right, that would be a set. They will do that 6 times. All right, so we got our A, then we got a little chuck, then we hit another A. And then we're just going to hit that open 5th string, grab the 3rd fret of the 5th string with a slight pull, and back to an A and a chuck and an A. Alright, now when we do our 2nd set, we'll do A, chuck, A, and then open 4th string to our walk down on the 5th string from 3 to 2 to open. Alright, so those 2 together will make a set. So this is how it should go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And then, like I said, we'll do that a total of 6 times. And then what they do, after the last walk down, he goes right back to the A. So, alright, so we go into the bridge again right after the solo rhythm. And this would be bridge 2. The only difference is at the end, we're not going to hit the B diminished 3 times. We're just going to hold it. Bridge 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're into verse 3. We go into chorus 3. All right, just like we've done. All right, we'll go through that. Second time of doing the C's, we come in with our B diminished. That leads into a bridge 3. All right, bridge 3 is just like bridge 1. We will end it with the lick. All right, that is the outro. There's a second solo over that outro. Bridge 3, which again is same as bridge 1. And once we hit this B diminished 3 times, that outro, basically the solo rhythm that we learned either, continues and fades out. Okay, so that is basically how the song will end. Got the whole rhythm. It's a beautiful song. Loving You Sunday Morning. I don't know. It's got a great melody to it, and the guitar, the way they match the melody, I think is done very well. We'll touch on the solo here, both of them, and you'll have the whole song. So solo 1 starts up here, 12th position. We're going to hit 15, and we'll hit that with a bend 6 times. And then he's going to do a bend and release and pull off to 12. And then 15 to 12 twice, each individual hit. And then a pull off. 2 more hits on 15, and then a 15 to 12 pull off. All right, to me sounds really kind of random, and he's going with the feel. But again, this is what he's doing. And then we move to the second string. 15 bent twice. Then we're going to do a bend, release, pull off to 12. And then we pull off to 13. Hit 15, 13, back to 15. Then we come to 14 on the 3rd string to 14, 13, 12 on the 4th. 15 on the 5th string, back to 12 with a little vibrato and slid down. All right, so the second measure with the 2nd string, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we move to the 7th position. We're going to do this really tasty lick here. We're going to go from, this will be on the 3rd string. We're going to hit 8, hammered into 9, pull back off to 8, and then 7. Landing on 10 on the 4th string. We'll do that 4 times. Then he comes back to an 8 hammered into 9. All right, after that 4th time, what we do is, again, hammer in 8 to 9, but we're going to come down to 8 on the 2nd string. Back to 9 on the 3rd, and then 8 pulled off to 7. Landing on 10 on the 4th string. Then we come back 8 to 9 on that 2nd string to 3rd. 8 to 9 again, but we'll pull off to 7. And then we go to the 2nd string at the 10th fret with a pull off to 8, back hammering into 10, and then back off to 8. Landing on 9, 3rd string. Then we go to 10 with a bend, and then 8 with a bend and release. Coming to 9, and then slid from 8 to 7. All right, I know it's a lot of notes, so let's take it from that very last lick. All right. All right, at At that point, we're back here at 7. Now we're going to come to the 4th string, 10 to 7, and then 10 pulled off to 8. Then hit 7. And then we come to the 10th fret of the 5th string, 7 slid to 6. So after that 5th string at the 10th fret, and we slide from 7 to 6, alright, what we're going to do is come back to 7, and then do some palm muting with a 6 to 5 on the 5th string to 8 on the 6th string twice. Come back to 5 on the 5th string, and then again with a hammer into 8. So we have this. Back to 5. And it's all palm muted towards the end, which I noted in my notes. Okay, second solo, going to start out at the with a couple notes at the 10th fret, 2nd string and 3rd string before we move back to the 5th position. So he's really going through the Aeolian scale, or the minor scale. So what we're doing, 10 on the 2nd string, 10 on the 3rd, vibrato. And then he goes into a real nice hammering from, or I should say pull off, 6 to 5. And then that's a 2nd string. 3rd string, we're going to pull off from 7 to 5, slide to 4, and then hammer back to 5, and then 7. Now we have to switch a little bit because we're going to come to 5, and then hammer 6 to 8. Alright, so if you're familiar with the scale, it looks like this. Alright, so he's doing that. And then we come to the 1st string. We're going to hit 5 hammered into 7 and 8, and then hit 5 twice. Alright, then he comes back to the 6th fret of the 3rd string, and then up to 10, and then to 12. So he does a bend at 12 and a release, hit it unbent, and then 10 on the 2nd, and then 10 on the 3rd. And that's the first measure of solo 2. So again, it's just played with so much feeling. You can just hear him listening to the melody of the rhythm and playing these notes within the scale. Now the solo will end with this real tasty little lick. We're going to kind of be going between 9 and 10. We'll start out 3rd string, 12, 10, 12, catching 2nd string, 10, back to 3rd string at 12, and then a little more 12s on the 9th fret before we slide, or 3rd string before we slide back to the 9th fret. Alright, so I'll show you and then we'll go through it. Alright, so we've gone back and forth, 12, 10, 12 on the 3rd string, 10 on the 2nd string to 10 on the 3rd. 3rd string will catch 12 bent and then 12 unbent, back to 10, 12, and 10 slid to 9. Alright, so we have this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we end it, if you will, at this point, catching 12 on the 4th string. We'll come back to 10, and use your first finger because we're going to use our pinky to grab 13. Use your first finger on the 10th fret of the 2nd string with some vibrato, 10th fret of the 3rd string again with some vibrato before we hit 13. Alright, so the vibrato's on the 10, and then we hit 13 on the 1st string bent, and then 13 unbent. Alright, so this whole last phrase together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the song. I hope It really helps everybody. It was a joy learning it, and I hope you guys enjoy.